I am Dr. Ruchika Verma, Assistant Professor in CMP Degree College, is going to present a module on gender and mental health. This module has been written by Dr. Deepra Dandekar, who is a postdoctoral researcher in Heidelberg University, Germany. This module specifically deals with the importance of studying women and its relationship with mental health. Mental health and women has a very close connection, but unfortunately this has not been handled by most of the nations in the world in an appropriate manner. UN understanding of women as being important to healthy nations, as considered as important to healthy nations, healthy family and individuals. Women is more vulnerable to gender and their physical illnesses, impoverishment leads to gendered and social handicaps, and there is an abandonment violence and malnourishment. There are certain factors which play a very important role in the mental health problems in women. There lot of indicators have indicated that the factors present in the psychosocial environment of the women are responsible for mental health problems in women. Women is especially vulnerable to gender. Gender means the social construction of male and female, and as a result it has lot of implication on the health of women. There are lot of social factors like poverty, illiteracy and unemployment that leads to play their cumulative effect on the mental health of women. UN has already established that if we want to understand the problems of women, mental health problems of women, it is very important to consider the factors present in the family and society. But the factors which are responsible for mental health and the factors which are really investigated, those factors are confined to medical and psychiatry. Women's empowerment creates a sense of mental debility and vulnerability. Women's empowerment means that there is lack of facilities, there is a lack of understanding of the women's needs at both physical and mental level. They make more and as a result empowerment makes them more vulnerable to mental illness. Mental illness, when we talk about mental illness has causation at 3 different levels. One is biological, second is psychosocial and third is socio-cultural. As far as the biological factors are concerned, women also suffer from some biological causes and which is universal to the male fraternity also. There is no gender component as far as the biological causes of mental illnesses are concerned. However, when we talk about the socio-cultural and psychosocial variables, which refers to the factors pertaining in family, in society, in culture, and as a result in all those authorities which affect the mental health of women in some ways or the another. For example, the cultural values, the cultural traditions, the rituals, all rituals are more inclined towards women as being subservient and male as in the dominating position. Patriarchal values has a lot of impact on the mental health or mental illness of the women. In many societies, it has been observed that women has played a secondary role and male is at a primary role, leading to a second citizen treatment of the women. Although this does not impact in the short term, but long term this has a devastating effect on their personalities and their mental health. What is the meaning of what is actually mental health and illness means? Physically impoverished women becomes a reason for their susceptible to mental illness. When we talk about the factors, one important factor of mental illness is the physical disability or physically unhealthy women herself. If a woman is not physically fit, it prepares a ground for the emergence of mental illness. Mental and physical illness are connected to each other and they are indirectly tied to patriarchal oppression. In most of the mentally ill patients, which are women, the illnesses starts from the physical condition. The physical health, the women has been socialized in such a way that they are groomed in such a way that they neglect their physical health, and gradually the health, either their physical health become very poor or it gets converted into the associated mental health problems. Patriarchy does play a moderating role in all these conditions because the patriarchal norms are operating at the psychosocial level as well as socio-cultural level. It is very important that to understand the meaning of the term psychosocial as well as socio-cultural. Psychosocial refers to the factors pertaining to the interaction between individual's psyche, individual's mind with the family and immediate environment of the person. And socio-cultural refers to the factors pertaining to are those factors which are operating at the level of social and cultural levels. So, basically it is an interaction of an individual's psyche with the family, with the society, with the culture, with the community, with the nation and with the international standards, which leads to emergence of mental health problems. Now, mental illness is also associated with the pharmaceutical industry, over medicalization, hospitals, ECT and human rights violence. Mental illness has been understood in these frames: pharmaceutical industries, use of medicines, electroconvulsive therapy, that is ECT, and there is a violation of human rights. When we talk about mental illness, we immediately connect mental illness to these terms. Psychiatry is an important domain which dominates the concept of mental health. The biological model of the mental health itself is based on the psychiatry. Psychiatric diagnosis can become a way of labeling persons who are deemed socially unacceptable, and it has been proven as scientific. So, seeing the scientific grounds, a person is labeled as a medically unhealthy or medically ill if he is not able to meet the standards as prescribed in the set criteria of a particular disease. Medical illnesses and medicalization are patriarchal and psychiatric concepts, because mental illness has long been understood with the realm of medical field only. Most of the medical students or the students who study the medical sciences, there is a specialization which is called psychiatry, and in a way to understand medical illness, it is just confined to the department of psychiatry, and where the causes are mainly patriarchal. It is unfortunate that most of the biomedical model based illnesses are not explained by the patriarchal mindsets. The very important concept which is related to mental illness is the relationship with the patriarchy. So, there is a need to understand the connection. Now, women's susceptibility to mental illness. Who are the women who are more susceptible and how the susceptibility increases? Women's susceptibility is mostly socially produced through patriarchal oppression and poverty, a condition reflected by research the world over. A lot of researches has been done which has already established that the patriarchal oppression, that is oppression of women with the help of patriarchal norms and values, leads to the emergence of mental health problems in women. Over the years, it has been seen that the movement for the women empowerment and women education as well as employment has become a main agenda of most of the women's movement. However, as women move forward, try to achieve in their lives, they always get oppressed by some patriarchal norms or patriarchal rules and regulations, as a result of which they always face a double bind situation leading to mental health problems. United Nations data reflects the same situation of relationship between poverty and mental health. There is a clear relation that the deprived sources, poverty or any poverty in the form of economic limitations leads to mental health problems in women. Women's susceptibility is also increased by the kind of social conditions which are emerged due to impoverished environment. It has been seen that poverty is closely related to the state of unemployment, illiteracy, and as a result there is hardly any engagement for the women to do in their lives. Mental illness takes place due to other reasons as well, but clinical treatment robbing people of human rights creates them as non-person. It is very important to understand that for medical illness there are number of other reasons. The reasons which are evident and the reasons which are not easily caught by the normal people. There is a open robbing of human rights of many people, and people remain frustrated and depressed due to their violation of rights. They put these people into the category of non-person, and as a result their state of mental illnesses, it even increases more. The movement against mental illness diagnosis therefore also becomes a gender struggle. Gender and mental health are very closely connected to each other, and when there was a movement against the mental illness, gender was considered as an important dimension of mentally ill people, because many times people are mentally ill because they get some kind of trauma or some kind of psychosocial or socio-cultural factors which emerge as a result of the social construction of gender. For example, in the most heinous way of the gender discrimination is rape and the trauma associated with it. In majority of the cases, it leads to the experience of depression and post-traumatic stress disorders in women. It has been noticed there is abundant research by many researchers in the area of psychology and women's studies that those who try to understand the connection between gender and mental health. Mental health problems are emerging as a result of domestic violence too. And the most important issue which is related to mental illness is diagnosis. DSM manual, that is Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Illness, is used universally by psychiatrists to define superficial and circumstantial behavior as illness, symptoms and syndromes. So, even the manual itself is totally defining mental illness behavior on the basis of the symptoms which they can catch and the syndrome, which is the collection of the symptoms that leads to the superficial as well as circumstantial behavior, which helps in defining mental illness. There is a very important role which is played by doctors and family to control patients with unacceptable social behavior. There is a need to elaborate that what is the meaning of unacceptable social behavior. Unacceptable social behavior refers to the behavior which does not approved by the society and that has not been defined by the social norms. Such kind of behavior always results in some kind of disapproval by the society, and as a result the person experiences derogatory remarks by most of the society members. Even though there are number of examples, like for example there was a time when women was not allowed to wear western dresses in the society. That was not a normal norm in the society, but gradually this was accepted by the society and it became the part of the social norm. But when it was unacceptable, at that time women who used to wear western dresses, they were considered as deviated from normal. So there was a clear conception that women who does not approve the social norms, they are non-normal or they are away from normality. In many there is an inconclusive evidence of healing through neuroleptics that have dangerous side effects and actually foster drug dependence. As far as the treatment is concerned, there are so many approaches which are totally biased and there is no initiation of new researches in this area. There is a stigma of psychiatric treatment that are an obstacle for healing. It has been seen that people, especially in the case of women, it has been observed that people hardly wants a woman to be referred to a psychiatric clinic because of the stigma attached to it. Society, even in the upper middle class, even in the higher class, women are not exposed to the proper medical treatment, and they always go to other sources of treatment which are more dangerous and leads to some negative effects. There is a clear neglect of patients' emotions by both doctors and families. Whatever treatment approach they follow, they are not at all emphasizing on the fact that the mental health problems, they emerge from the psychosocial and sociocultural environment, and as a result it can be treated from there only. There is a neglect of patients' emotions, the emotions which emerge in their family, society, neighborhood, and as a result these emotions are ignored, and it leads to, later on it leads to some kind of emotional disorders, mood disorders, or other kind of cognitive disorders. There is a lot of data which reveals that women experience many forms of violence in the house itself, and this results in their neglect of emotions, and as a result it lead to mental health problems. UN has recommended have given certain recommendations to upgrade the quality of mental health services in the mainstream gender. Since United Nations is working for a long time to understand the relationship between gender and mental health, these recommendations are very important to understand. First of all, United Nations has emphasized to encourage mental health training at all levels to create grassroots aware. It has been seen in the Indian society that at all the levels people are not aware of the mental health problems. They consider mental health as something which comes in the other, the field which has been defined by the other, and they do not give it a much attention as they give attention to other physical illnesses. It is very important to develop a strong awareness drive for people at all the levels and let them accept the notion of mental illness. There should also be an effort to promote improvement towards engendering a gender friendly perspective in state policies in order to reduce violence against women, because most of the mental health problems in women results from the violence in some or the other form. It has been noticed that the whole social construction of gender is itself rooted in the violation of women's rights. The women experience lot of violence within the home as well as in their professional areas. So wherever they experience violence, it leads to some sort of mental health problems, and gradually it has been established by UN that there is a very strong connection between the social construction of gender as well as the mental health problems of the women. There should be another recommendation is that there should be a steady evaluation of policies and research based on women and children, mental health and violence. Unless and until there is a proper evaluation of policies made and the research done in the area of women and children, it is very important that these kind of researches should be done. We cannot understand mental health and associated violence without doing such kind of research and evaluation of policies. Next recommendation by UN is to attend causes and consequences of gendered violence within the community. It has been seen that in different communities there is a different form of violence. We have already witnessed that there are so many experiences of violence which are expressed in different forms in different communities in India as well as across the world. The primary intervention against mental health difficulties should be encountered within the community, because the factors which are present in the community are responsible for the development of mental health problems in women. It is very important that these factors should be identified and a proper kind of sensitization and training shall be done at the community level so that the change can be seen in the situation of the women. because most of the problems originate from the socio-cultural variables. It is very important that these variables needs a proper attention and needs to be modified. There is a gradual increase in the nature of variables that affect the women's mental health. In different communities, it has been seen that the different people are affected by different cultural norms and the different social values. So there is a need to understand these factors. Only then the connection between the gender and mental health can be established in a confident manner. Thank you so much.